everyone, my name is Richie and welcome back to another video. Today you join me for a first look at the brand new gameplay packs that have come to Train Sim World 5. So recently a couple of gameplay packs came to the core routes for the Train Sim World 5 routes, so West Coast Main Line South, Frankfurt, Fulda and San Bernardino line, and I thought today we'd take a little look and show you what you get in each of them. So straight off the bat, I just want to say a massive thank you to Dovetail Games for providing a game key to show this off to you. So if you don't know what's included or what comes with these packs, I will show you in this video. You know, we'll go into each of the timetables and show you the scenarios they add and all that sort of good stuff. And then once I've shown you the timetable and the main menu and all that sort of good stuff, I will jump into a couple of the services and do about 5 minutes in each service, just to show off what you get and what it looks like. So we're here in the main menu and I'll show you what you get in each of these gameplay packs. So we'll first go to San Bernardino line, which is just there. So you can see we've got a couple of more services now. So if you go into the weekend timetable and go down to the F125, you get a Christmas train. There you go. All the coaches have got like Christmas lights on them. There's a couple of Christmas services. So if you click on that, you get 3 new services there when you can run a cute little Christmas train across the desert. You also get a couple of new scenarios, so I think there's these ones, Deck the Halls, Santa's Coming to Town and Driving Home for Christmas, which again are all focused around the Christmas coaches. It's quite a cute idea because obviously we're in the festive season, so it just adds, you know, a bit more detail to the coaches and stuff like that. So, you know, it's kind of a cute idea. Next up onto Frankfurt Fulda, the Kinzigtalbahn, we've got a new timetable, which is this one here. So the original one has the DBBR 114 in it. This one's got the DBBR 111 and the n-Wagens. And as you can see here, the 111 has basically been swapped out for the 114. I think it's all been reworked, the timetable, so it should work, you know, for the timings of a 111 and the n-Wagens. I quite like the idea of this pack because it's very similar to Diesel Legends, where it's the same route but it's kind of a different period. Let's say when the 111s did sort of rule this line and the 114s weren't exactly, you know, that key on the line. So I kind of get this pack and it's quite cool. As for scenarios, we've got 13 with the Kinzigtalbahn now. So if you go down to the bottom, we've got a couple of new ones. So we've got these 3 at the bottom: Old Heroes, Melted ICE and Rail Recovery. I did see someone play that one. You got to go and essentially save a train somewhere with the 111, which is quite cool. And then finally onto the West Coast Main Line South, London Euston to Milton Keynes, where we've got some new freight services. So as you can see, we've got a couple more services there, and if you go across to the 66s, pick any one you want and you type in HKA. There you go. We've got a couple of new services. We've got quite a few new services. I think there's 13, which are all with new wagons and stuff. So this is kind of similar to a cargo line pack for like Midland Main Line that Skyhook does. And then for scenarios, we've got 11 now, I think, because 3 of them are from a Pendolino as well. So you've got these 3 new ones down here: Shed Rising, Shed Life and Spoil from London. So if you like your scenarios, there's a couple of new ones in there. And that's a little overview of what you get with the gameplay packs. Personally, I think they look all right. I quite like the look of the German one because it adds like a new timetable. The timetable's all been reworked. It's kind of similar to the new Journeys pack, so if you don't own the 111, you get the 111 for like a reduced price, which is quite cool. The West Coast Mainline one's not too bad. It's a bit like a cargo line pack, but personally, I wasn't too fussed with the cargo line packs because it's freight and it's scenarios, so that's just not my forte, but I can see the appeal. And for the San Bernardino one, I think compared to the other 2 gameplay packs, it's probably not as good, but let's see what it looks like when we jump into it. We'll do that first anyway and have a little look at it. It might look really cool, but I think for gameplay wise it doesn't really offer as much as the West Coast Main Line and the Kinzigtalbahn one. So what we'll do first is we'll have a little look at the Christmas San Bernardino one. So we'll jump into this holiday train service and run it for like 1 station or like 5 minutes just to have a look at the wagons and stuff. I can imagine it looks decent. I don't know why it's been run in April though. We need to run it in Christmas time. Should we run it on actual Christmas Day? Yeah, that looks good. Let's jump into the holiday train. And here we go, we've jumped into the holiday train. Operate the holiday train and celebrate the festivities. Lovely stuff. Let's get started and let's get ourselves set up. So we need to put the key in there. Lovely stuff. Put that into forwards, and then we need to do all this sort of stuff here, which is put it into passenger. Lovely stuff. And here we go, this is the holiday train. Let's have a little look at it. We've got season's greetings and all that sort of good stuff on the side. Got some snowmen and some reindeer, Santa there, lovely stuff. These lights look quite cool. Got some nutcrackers. Hey, nice. So it's all kitted out with lights and stuff. I mean, it's interesting that the holiday train service is during the day. You'd think they want to do it at night time, which we'll do that. We'll jump in at night time and have a little look at it, because I can imagine at night this looks a lot better. Yeah, it's fully kitted out the whole way through. Got some baubles there, lovely stuff. Yeah, it's quite cute looking, I must admit. Right, so next stop is Upland Station, so that's probably as far as I'll go. What stations have we got? Upland Station, Montclair, Claremont, Pomona, Covina. So it's not too far of a run. It's only about half an hour, so that's quite a decent run anyway, but we'll only take it as far as Upland. Right, why are we not moving? For some reason, we're not going anywhere. Ah, there we go. Right, I think I figured it out. Reason why it weren't moving is that wasn't on. Make sure that's on. I keep forgetting that. We've got someone across the other side as well. Hello. Are you wearing a nice Christmas jumper? Let's have a little look. Christmas jumper? No. You've let me down. Not wearing a Christmas jumper, are we? No, I can't even see myself. So let's get a nice external shot. I mean, it's the daytime, so you can't really tell. I think this needs to be a service at night, if I'm honest. There is a couple of light shunting moves, which are a bit later on. But I would imagine that these would be run at night time, not during the day. So I wonder why. I mean, maybe it's like an additional service that they run at the weekend. I don't know. I don't think there's any new services in the weekday one. I think it's just the weekend one. But it looks cool. Obviously, the F125 looks very nice as it is. But yeah, the lights are quite a nice little addition. A couple new services, a couple of scenarios. And that's the thing with gameplay packs. It's that it's essentially a scenario pack. A lot of people are like saying, well, it's the same sort of unit or whatever else. But that's the joy of it. A gameplay pack, it adds gameplay, it adds a couple of scenarios, and for some people that's their thing. They want some more like scenarios, but for some people like myself, we like to just jump into the timetable mode and just drive trains wherever we can. So personally, they're not normally my cup of tea, but I can see the appeal, definitely. Lovely stuff. And now we're at full speed. Let's have a little look at the festivities from outside. Nice. Let's get a little flyby shot. There we go. You can sort of see that they're lighting up in the shadows. You can sort of see what they're doing. It's interesting that it's only on the new coaches, not the old ones. Let's have a little look at the back there. Ah, nice. There you go. So we've got sort of like a double F125 action here, both sided. Lovely stuff. So I believe that these are actually based off a real service, because I think the holiday train, they've not made this up. I have seen pictures online of this sort of formation where they have got, you know, a lot of Christmas lights all over the place. Which is always funny to see in California, isn't it? Because it never snows in California unless you're up in the mountains. So, you know, you've got all the Christmas festivities, but you're in the middle of a desert. So it's always quite an interesting look. So as we round the final bend towards Upland Station, let's get some brakes in. Yeah, I mean, this pack is quite cool. Adds a couple of new scenarios. And, I mean, Christmas. Who doesn't like Christmas, eh? I mean, I wish there was some more things that kind of made it obviously Christmas. I mean, the scenarios may actually be ran in the snow, I don't know. The scenarios may be much better than the timetabled services. I've not looked at them just yet, but, you know, a couple of new scenarios, a couple of new services, new gameplay at the end of the day. It's not too bad. Right, here we go. Let's get ourselves slowed down for Upland Station. There we go. Would have been cool to see some Christmas trees or some decorations at the stations, but I'm guessing because it's a normal timetable, they'd need to decorate it all year round. Which, if you have a Christmas tree in the middle of the desert in the summertime, it looks a bit silly, doesn't it? Right, let's get stopped there. I've overshot that just a tad, but that's fine. It's okay. The people on the road can see the festivities. It's all good. That's a decent stop. Yeah, decent stop. 50-yard overshoot. It's all right. Right, let's unlock the doors there. And that was a little look at the Christmas train. So, yeah, looks quite cool. I like what they've done. I'm going to jump into probably LA Union at night time and just have a little look at what the lights look like in the night. And here we go. I've jumped into one of these scenarios. This is the driving home for Christmas one, and as you can see, it's a service at night time, which looks really nice. Look at it all. Look at all the lights on the trains. You also got some Christmas decorations and stuff. Got some mistletoe and whatever you call these, wreaths I think they're called. Yeah, this looks really nice at night time. This looks really, really cool actually. Yeah, this is quite cool actually at night time. Yeah, this train is definitely better looking at night time. You know, if you do the services during the day, it's still quite cool that you can do a couple of the services, but, you know, to fully experience it, you need to do these nighttime scenarios. So, yeah, definitely quite cool. Maybe if it had a couple of more nighttime services, it'd be even better. So, that's the Christmas pack. Let's jump into the Frankfurt Fulda route. And here we go, we're in the DBBR 111 on the Frankfurt Fulda route, and I must admit this looks quite good actually. We've got a couple of n-Wagen services in the platforms here at Frankfurt South, and this looks quite cool. So obviously the 111 came with Rosenheim-Sulzberg, as that one departs there. Got an S-Bahn train coming in there too. So yeah, the 111 came with Rosenheim-Sulzberg. So if you don't own that route and you get this pack, it's a £5 for a new train essentially. Well, 2 new trains, you get the n-Wagens too. So what we'll do to show this off is do a little run from here at Frankfurt South into Frankfurt Hauptbahnhof itself. So it's like an 8-minute service, so we'll do that and just show you what it looks like. But as you can tell, it's pretty much a similar service to the 114s and the Dostos. I think they're pretty much all identical. I think some of them have been reworked. I did have a little scroll for the timetable just beforehand, and a lot of the services are similar. So this kind of essentially subs in for all the 114 services, but I'm guessing, I'm not too sure of the history behind it, but I think the 111s did run on this route just before the 114s, so I think there's some form of like correlation there. Right, so here we go, let's get ourselves set up. I need to remember how to set this thing up now, so I think I need to put the brake key on. That's definitely a good start. We need to put the master key in, which is there. Lovely stuff. Let's pop that in there, put that into forward. Lovely, and let's get the doors unlocked. We could also do with putting the lights on, which I think is that one, maybe, possibly, I'm not sure. Well, are the lights behind us? I think they might be. Lights, hello lights, there we go. Right, I need to put them on to headlights. Lovely stuff. Right, so yeah, here we go. This is the 111 and the n-Wagens. So a lot of services with this. I think there's like 150, 200 services. Obviously, you know, very similar to the 114 services, just a different experience really, just a different way to experience the route. Obviously got these lovely n-Wagens back here. So these first came with Bremen-Oldenburg. So this is the thing with this pack, right? If you don't own Bremen-Oldenburg and you don't own Rosenheim-Salzburg, you get two new variants of train. You get the Loco, the 111, and you get the new n-Wagens. So realistically, like, if you don't own a lot of German stuff and you want to add a new train, get this, because it adds, well, a new train for you. Right, so let's get the doors locked and get prepared to start moving towards Frankfurt. So like I say, a really short service, but these services do full line runs. There's a bit of a, you know, there's Hanau to Frankfurt, Frankfurt South to Frankfurt itself. So there's a couple of different service patterns that you can run on this route. Here we go, we're going straight away here. 1.8 kilometers, so it's literally just round the corner. But it's kind of a good thing just to show it all off for you. I'll tell you what, it goes quick, doesn't it? It's got some good acceleration, lovely stuff. So we've got a red light in a minute, so we need to be mindful of that. So let's get slowed down just a tad there. We don't fancy spadding, not whilst we're trying to showcase something new. So let's get down to 60, and we've got a green light, lovely stuff. So we'll just roll around the corner. So I mean, this is quite cool actually. I won't lie, it feels like a new Loco, because I mean, if you don't own, like I said, those two routes, you get something new here. So not only do you get quite a significant change to the timetable, you get a new Loco. So for a £5, when Loco DLCs are normally like 12 quid, I'd say go for it. It kind of gives me vibes of the New Journeys one. So do you know when they added the DBBR 423 to Köln-Aachen? It's kind of similar to that really, where a lot of the S-Bahn services were replaced with the 423, because they were initially done with the 422, I think. So they brought it in, you know, re-liveried it and made it applicable to Köln. So it's a very similar experience with this one. So if you liked the DBBR 423 pack on Köln-Aachen, then you'll like this. And also, I must admit, the 111 is a much nicer train to drive than the 114. I don't like the 114; it upsets me. So this is quite nice. It also gives you a different view to the route. So I did see one question about this saying, well, why didn't they include this from the outset in the layered services? And I think the idea behind this is to provide you, here you go, I've got another n-Wagen going this way. It's to provide you with a new Loco to drive, essentially. You know, if it would have been layered onto the route, it would have been a layer. So you would have had to have owned Bremen-Oldenburg and Rosenheim-Salzburg to get the layer. So see it that way, instead of spending 60 quid on two routes to have it layered in, you only have to pay a £5 to get a new train layered in. That's one way to look at it. So we've got a red coming up, so let's get slowed down here. We don't fancy spadding. Not today. Please not today. I don't need it today. So let's get slowed down for this red, and then we'll have a nice little approach into Frankfurt. I can see an n-Wagen down there. So I'm guessing pretty much all the Dostos get replaced with n-Wagens. Yeah, they're all down there too. So I'm guessing there was a period in time where the n-Wagens were seen more notably around Frankfurt than the Dostos. Right, so there we go. We've got a clear signal to go into Frankfurt Hauptbahnhof. So let's get some throttle in. Let's get some power in. Lovely stuff. Got a 423 leaving. I think that's a 423. And here we go. We're on the move. Lovely stuff. So one thing to obviously mention with these packs is that these are for Gen 9 only, which I think is probably a sign of things to come, because we're halfway through a Gen 9 cycle now. So I can imagine going forward there probably will be a lot of Gen 9 only packs, and to be fair, I can kind of see with this one, you know, the n-Wagens probably take up quite a bit of resource and wouldn't run very well on the Gen 8, so I can kind of see why. But I can see a lot of people are a bit upset about it, but personally, you know, being a person that recently upgraded from Gen 8, Gen 9 is sort of much better. It's a much better experience now than Gen 8 is. Anyway, we're going way too quick here into Frankfurt, so let's slow down. We don't want a buffer kiss here, do we? No, we don't. No, we don't. And there we go. I've got it under control. So we're approaching now into Frankfurt Hauptbahnhof, and as you can see, there is n-Wagens everywhere, which is quite cool. So obviously, comparing it to the original timetable, you'd see the Dostos and whatever else. Interestingly, I haven't spotted any ICE stock just yet. We're also going way too quick. I keep forgetting that. You need to make sure you turn the throttle off, because if you leave it and run up, it'll just keep going. It'll just keep going. So I need to slow down here. We don't want to mount the buffers. That wouldn't be a good idea. That's a decent stop. That's all right. So yeah, we've got n-Wagens here, a lot of them. So basically what this does is replaces the Dostos and brings in the n-Wagens. So quite cool. If you don't own the n-Wagens or you want a different sort of experience with your German stock, it's a good pack for you. So there we go, that was a little look at the 111, so we'll jump into West Coast Mainline now and have a little look at the new freight services. So, I mean, so far these gameplay packs seem alright as a 111 goes back that way. Lovely stuff. And here we go, we're in the West Coast Mainline South route in the wonderful Class 66, and these are the new wagons that come with this pack, the HKA wagons. I think that's what they're called anyway. So we've jumped into a service which goes as far as Acton Yard in the real world, but we won't take it that far. We probably won't even take it as far as Tring, but we'll take it for like a 5-minute little saunter and talk a little bit about it. But it's quite cool that we've got some new wagons, a bit like a cargo line pack really for the West Coast Main Line. So let's get ourselves set up. So I need to remember how to set up a Class 66. There you go, pop that in there, pop that into forwards, lovely jubbly, make sure the brakes are released, yeah, they're all fine, cool, and then we can build up some speed. So we've got a Pendolino going in there, and we've got a couple of 350s here at Milton Keynes. So a lot of the services I've seen go between Milton Keynes and Wembley, I believe. There's a couple of like shunting moves around Wembley yards and whatnot, so plenty of stuff going on if you like your freight. For me, I'm not overly fussed by freight. I much prefer to drive those things over there, the Pendolinos. But yeah, if you like your freight, definitely adds a lot more gameplay to this. So let's get going. We're up to 60 mile an hour, so we'll try and get to 60 as quick as we can. But this is a very long train, as you can see. A lot of HKA wagons on this. I think they're empty because we're going to load some stuff up, I think it loads stuff up at Acton Yard and then you take it back up the line at night. So that's the thing, a lot of these services are ran in the middle of the night, so I thought I'd do one during the day so I could properly show off these wagons, which look incredible. Look at them, they're all well weathered and all sorts of stuff. What's the branding on it? National Power. Is that fake? Is that a fictional brand? I think it might be. And off they go, HKA wagons. I mean, they look absolutely splendid, they look brilliant. The weathering on these looks absolutely fantastic. Come on, you shed. So a lot of people say, why are they called sheds, Richie? And I believe it's because they look like a garden shed, albeit a very long one. So if you looked at a standard garden shed in the UK, they look like a Class 66. And they're everywhere. Class 66s are absolutely everywhere. And there we go. We're up to 60 mile an hour, lovely stuff. Right, off it goes. So what's quite cool with taking these new freight wagons is that because you're limited to 60 mile an hour and you've got Pendolinos going past you at about 125, as you do these freight runs, you will be overtaken by a lot of stuff, which is quite cool. Quite a cool little bit of immersion if you want to be a virtual freight train driver. And there we go, that's a little look at the HKA wagons. Obviously the Class 66 isn't included with this, but the Class 66 is included in the West Coast Mainline route, so you will be able to run these. But yeah, obviously this pack just brings the HKA wagons and the services and scenarios. Right, so here we go, we're approaching Bletchley and I'm going to attempt to stop the train here. Let's see if we can get the train stopped. It's very heavy, this train, there's a lot of wagons on it, but let's see if we can get it stopped here at Bletchley, and then we'll do a little outro and I'll give you my final thoughts on these gameplay packs. I'll tell you something, that's a decent stop here. I'm quite impressed with that. I didn't think we were going to stop, but we've stopped here at Bletchley because I'm going to do a little outro and give you my opinion. So my final thoughts on these three packs, what do I think about them? Personally, I don't think they're too bad. The San Bernardino line could be a little bit better, maybe some more nighttime services in the timetable to really show off them lights. That would definitely be a good thing. Personally, for me, I think the best one is the Frankfurt Fulda one, because if you don't own them other two German routes, you get a new loco for a much lower price. You know, Loco DLCs are what, 12-13 quid? You get a new Loco to run on Frankfurt Fulda for a £5, and I don't think that's too bad. And again, for this one, if you're a fan of your cargo line packs, which I know a lot of people are, I personally am not, because I don't really care for freight, but that is just because I like to drive passenger stuff, fast passenger stuff. That's what I like to do. So yeah, if you like the cargo line packs, then this is the one for you. Definitely one for you. So with all that said and done, I'm going to leave this first look video there. Let me know in the comments whether you picked any of these up and which one's your favourite. I personally, like I say, think Frankfurt Fulda is the best one. So thank you all for watching this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please make sure to smash that like button and subscribe. If you're new, I'd massively appreciate it. So thank you all for watching, and I'll hopefully see you all in the next video. Bye bye.